Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today we're digging into a name that certainly gets people talking, Opendoor Technologies. And the big question, the one we're tackling for you today, is pretty straightforward. Is now actually a good time to buy this stock, given everything that's going on? Before we jump into the analysis, just a quick reminder, if you find this helpful, please hit subscribe, give us a like, and maybe drop a comment below. Seriously, we do read them. And hey, if there's a specific company you want us to look at next time, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, definitely let us know. Our goal today is really about bringing some clarity here. With Opendoor Technologies, there's just so much noise, right? What we've done is pull together the research looking at their core financial health, the, let's say, extreme volatility in the stock, and what's coming up next. We want to give you a clear, unbiased view of where this iBuying player actually stands.
Okay, let's get into it. The core issue, the real tension with this company seems pretty clear when you look at the numbers. I mean, their top-line growth, their revenue, it's huge. Trailing 12 months, TTM, we're talking $5.18 billion. That shows they can execute, right? They can move houses using their tech at scale.
Oh, absolutely. The scale is undeniable. That's the growth story everyone latches onto. But, and this is the huge but, profitability is just not there. Despite that $5 billion in revenue, the TTM net loss is $305 million.
Right.
Think about that. They're essentially losing money on, well, a massive volume of transactions, like having a really fast car that just guzzles fuel and leaks oil everywhere.
A $305 million leak. Oof. Yeah. So why are investors still interested? What's the bull case there?
Well, it boils down to a couple of things. First, the long-term potential of the iBuying model itself. Opendoor Technologies really pioneered this, using data to automate buying and selling homes. People believe in that technology, that edge. Second, the company is saying, hey, we know, we're working on it. They're focused on operational efficiency, cutting costs, trying to plug that leak. The market's basically waiting for proof. Can they actually turn this massive revenue engine into a profitable one?
Waiting for proof, yeah. And while waiting, investors are dealing with some serious swings. This stock isn't exactly calm.
Calm. Not even close. The volatility is, frankly, off the charts. We're looking at a beta of 3.60. Just to remind listeners, beta measures volatility relative to the market. 3.60 means if the market moves 1%, Opendoor tends to move like 3.6%. That's huge.
Wow, 3.6.
Yeah, we're talking potential for really big daily moves, which is why, if you're even thinking about this stock, you absolutely need to look beyond the headlines. Dig into their latest SEC filings, those 10Q reports. Check the debt levels, the free cash flow. That's where the real financial health story is.
Okay, so that tech-driven iBuying model is the edge, but it comes with this massive volatility warning label. Let's pivot then to how the market is actually behaving. The technicals, the sentiment, what's that picture look like?
Well, the price chart alone tells a story. The 52-week range is pretty staggering, $1.51 on the low end and $10.87 on the high end.
Good grief. From 50 cents to over $10.
Exactly. It's been a wild ride. Right now, the price is sort of hovering around $7.34. And the short-term analysis suggests most of the action, maybe for the next 3 months or so, could be concentrated between, say, $7 and $10.
Okay, but are the technical indicators actually supporting that $7 level? Is there momentum behind it? Or is it just drifting?
Mostly drifting, actually. When you look at the momentum indicators, they're not giving a strong signal either way. Take the relative strength index, the RSI. It's at 49.72. That's smack in the middle neutral. Not overbought, suggesting a pullback, but not oversold, suggesting a bounce either. And the moving averages, the 50-day and 200-day, they aren't consistently pointing upwards, which would signal a strong trend. So the technicals are basically saying, wait and see, need more info.
Wait a second. This is where it gets really interesting. Based on the research we looked at, you're saying the fundamentals are shaky because of the loss, and the technicals are kind of neutral. So why did the stock absolutely explode just a few months ago?
Yes. That's the aha moment, isn't it? The research highlights this incredible surge, 226.06% over just 2 weeks back in July 2025. And it hit $7.50, again, more recently, mid-October. Here's the kicker. This wasn't really driven by news that they'd suddenly solved the $305 million problem. A lot of that move seems tied to, well, social media hype, short-term trends, retail excitement, that kind of thing.
You're kidding. So this data-heavy tech company's stock price was being pushed around by, like, Reddit threads and tweets. How do you even manage that kind of risk?
That is the risk. During that crazy surge period, the daily volatility hit an unbelievable 40.53%. 40% swings in a day. And here's the real red flag for me. As the price was skyrocketing, the trading volume actually decreased.
Oh, that's not good.
Not good at all. That's a classic divergence. It usually means the big institutional money, the conviction money, wasn't really behind the move. It suggests it was more speculative froth. If you were trading it then, you were riding a wave of sentiment, not fundamentals.
Which makes these upcoming events even more critical, doesn't it? If hype got it here, the fundamentals need to show up.
Yeah.
Well, so looking ahead, what are the key catalysts? What should people be watching?
Okay, short term, like the next 3 months, there's really one date circled in red on everyone's calendar. November 6th, 2025. That's the scheduled Q3 earnings report. This is the big test. The market needs to see real, measurable progress on profitability, on efficiency. They can forgive growth without profit for a while, but not forever, especially at this scale.
Right. Anything else on the radar besides earnings? Anything that might bring back some more stable investors?
Potentially. There are a few other things. ETF rebalancing, that's set for December 1st, 2025. That can sometimes create buying pressure just mechanically. And there's talk of a potential institutional buys announcement around January 1st, 2026. That would be a signal of returning confidence. Beyond specific dates, they're also constantly working on expanding partnerships with traditional real estate brokerages. That helps stabilize things a bit.
And zooming out beyond the next quarter or two, what's the longer-term story they're trying to sell?
The long-term play is all about proving the model. It's about expanding into new cities, new markets. And crucially, it's about continually refining that iBuying algorithm, making it more efficient, squeezing out costs at every step. Because that tech advantage is really their main weapon against competitors like, Zillow and Redfin, who are also major players.
Okay, let's talk risks then. Because you've got fierce competition and you've got the whole housing market situation.
Yeah, the risks are significant and they come in two flavors. Company specific, you've got that insane volatility we talked about, the 3.6 Zia beta, and you've got intense competition. Zillow in particular has deep pockets and its own powerful tech platform. It's a constant battle.
And the risks they can't control, the macro picture.
Exactly. Opendoor is incredibly sensitive to the broader economy. Think inflation and especially interest rates. Higher rates slow down the housing market, make borrowing more expensive, and increase the cost for Opendoor to hold on to houses. If the market really slows down, their whole model, which needs fast turnover, gets squeezed hard. That hits the bottom line directly.
So, given all this, the growth, the loss, the hype, the volatility, the competition, the macro risks. What's the general feeling on Wall Street? You mentioned some analysts are pretty negative.
Yeah, the overall mood among analysts is definitely cautious. The consensus rating is hold, which, in analyst language often translates to, maybe wait and see. It suggests the risk might outweigh the reward unless you're really confident in their turnaround story. And what really underscores the concern are some of those bearish price targets. We've seen targets cited as low as $1.45.
Wow, $1.45.
Yeah, it shows that if they don't deliver on fixing profitability, some analysts think the stock could lose almost all of that recent hype premium.
Okay, so let's bring it all together. We've looked at the good, the bad, the volatile. For the listener asking that core question, should I buy Opendoor Technologies now? What's the synthesis?
Well, aggregating all the research, the general feeling lands somewhere like cautious optimism, maybe guarded bullishness. If we had to put a number on it, maybe a 6 out of 10 on the bullish scale. And the reason for that guarded optimism rests entirely on the expectation of improvement. The revenue potential is clearly there. They're focused on efficiency, and you have those clear catalysts coming up, especially Q3 earnings.
A 6 out of 10. So definitely not a slam dunk buy for just anyone. We need to be clear about who this might be suitable for.
Exactly right. You have to split investors into two camps here, I think. First, you've got the short-term trader. They're looking purely at those upcoming catalysts, especially that November earnings report. They're making a tactical bet, right? High risk, potentially high reward, but ready to get out fast if the news isn't good on the cost front.
Okay, that's the trader. What about the person thinking longer term?
The long-term investor here is making a very different bet. They're looking out over several years. They fundamentally believe that Opendoor's technology and iBuying model will eventually win out, that they can solve the profitability puzzle and achieve dominance. They need to be willing to stomach that wild volatility, that 3.60 beta, believing a structural story will ultimately justify holding through the ups and downs.
So the final message for you, our listener, seems to be this. Opendoor Technologies is a high-risk, high-reward proposition right now. A lot of the current valuation seems built on market momentum and the hope of operational fixes rather than proven, sustained profits.
Precisely. And that leads us to one final thought for you to chew on as you weigh your options. Considering how much of the recent big price jump seemed driven by social media buzz, not concrete fundamental improvements, how durable do you think that current $7-ish valuation will be if these upcoming Q3 earnings don't show real, tangible progress on cutting losses and improving efficiency? That's a question you really need to answer for yourself before making a move.